Hello, poetry lovers! The video tonight shows the creation of a new sonnet that is currently untitled. Stick around to the end of the video for the complete first draft of this new poem. This month, I'm finally back at creation after an unintentional 2-month hiatus, and that's really half the inspiration for this poem. I've been thinking for a while about plain, boring adulthood. The kind of life that most people do end up having, in which you go to work and cook dinner and fold laundry, and that's the vast majority of your life. I'm thinking especially of the invisible work women in my position often do. I'm a highly educated, professionally successful, stay-at-home mom. I left behind work that was gaining me some recognition, at least in my limited circles, to just raise 2 amazing kids. It's worth it, for sure, but sometimes my daily efforts can feel so mundane and even futile. So I've been thinking about how I can see the nobility in my life as it currently is. And from this train of thought came the inspiration for a new project I'm calling the Domestic Sonnets. A sonnet is a classic poetic form with a rich history. Sonnets are poems with 14 lines of iambic pentameter which follow a strict rhyming pattern. I've included some links to information about the sonnet form in the description. Historically, sonnets are concerned with significant topics. Generally speaking, iambic pentameter as a metric pattern is used for poetry that is supposed to be important or weighty. So Paradise Lost is written in iambic pentameter. Shakespeare has his noble characters speak in iambic pentameter. And the sonnet form is used by poets from Petrarch to Millais to express their ideas on love. So in itself, the sonnet conveys an idea of importance. I thought this formal impact contrasted interestingly with domestic activities, which can be so boring and trivial, but also so profoundly important for the health of a family, physically, mentally, and emotionally. So I thought it would be interesting to explore some domestic scenes using the sonnet form to reveal their power. As you can see, I spent the vast majority of the writing process on this sonnet thinking and planning. A common strategy for me when I'm writing rhyming poetry is using the lists you can see here in the left margin. When I come up with a line I like, I take the final word and brainstorm every word I can think of that rhymes with it. For some reason, it's important for my thought process to actually write down every word I can think of, even if it obviously doesn't work. So you can see in my first list of words, I actually wrote down gangrene. Not something that seems like it will fit in this piece, but I've surprised myself before, and I've learned not to question this process. In addition to rhyming, the overall structure of a sonnet must follow a specific development, and another challenge to writing in a form like this is keeping that development in mind as I also weigh the considerations of the poem's ideas. So as you can see here, as I reached the 10th line, I went back and numbered my lines as a way to keep track of how much ground I had already covered. I had so much crossing out that I initially misnumbered the lines and had to retrace my steps. But once I had them clearly numbered, I saw how much space I had left to cover my remaining ideas. This was daunting. I had a lot left that I wanted to say and very little space in which to say it. The composition of this poem was filled with long pauses as I thought through options. As I neared the end, I had a fairly clear idea how I wanted the last lines to go, so I jotted in some wording and then moved back up to try to develop the 28 syllables I needed to fill in the gap. That was challenging, and I'm not 100% satisfied with what I came up with, so these lines will need some attention in revision. It's been a while since I wrote a sonnet, but I'm excited to explore this project a bit more. And what's more, I'm proud of myself for rising to the challenge of completing this poem in the middle of a very normal day full of chores and parenting. So here's the first draft of this domestic sonnet, written in about 35 minutes on August 31st, 2023. A basket on each hip, one foul, one clean, I climb the basement steps, trailing the scent of fresh spring rain behind me, nearly spent. Upstairs, the kitchen shows a grisly scene. 3 dirty washcloths, one is tinged with green, reek in the sink, and grime is evident on the hand towels. How can I not resent the chronic laundry? Nothing is pristine, not ever. So I lay the baskets down, lift dirty towels, unflinchingly aware to face the tasks no labor will erode takes courage. Like a captain gaining ground, I sing as I descend the basement stairs to dry what's wet and start another load. Thanks for watching this episode of Ars Poeticat. If you enjoyed watching poetry happen, please like and subscribe. Then go make some art.